美國國會參眾兩院投票通過咗白宮同國會嘅領袖之間就美國債務上限同埋削減聯邦政府開支而達成嘅妥協性嘅議案。下面我哋嚟睇下美國人對呢兩個決定有乜嘢嘅睇法。
This week, the federal debt ceiling was raised and the first ever U.S. government default was avoided. Are you happy with this outcome?
Well, I'm relieved, but I'm not happy that we had to raise the debt ceiling. I wish we could get rid of waste, of course, and I wish Congress would do a better job of coming to agreements on how we can reduce spending without increasing taxes.
Happy that the default was avoided, yes, but the whole process I wasn't too happy with.
You know, I'm happy because I knew that economically it wasn't going to be a good situation if we didn't, but I'm not happy that, you know, now we've raised, it's kind of like a no-win situation either way, so I guess, you know, if you call that happy, probably not.
I don't like some of the things they're talking about cutting, such as the military pensions, and I think that affects some of the best people we have in this economy, people actually working for their money, and you know, a lot of people like myself signed up to do 20 years, and you know, if you're going to try and take away our pension or retirement when we've been to war, blood, sweat, and tears for the freedoms of all these people, and a senator can sit there and take a 2 or 4 year term and get a pension for the rest of his life, I don't think that's exactly fair, especially when theirs costs way more than ours does.
This new law also includes federal government spending cuts. Where within the budget do you think lawmakers should make these cuts?
You know, wherever there's excess, I mean, it's hard to say without looking at the budget specifically, but I mean, areas of where there might be fat and excess, everybody has their own opinions about what those areas might be.
That is the impossible question. I mean, I do feel for our congressmen and women and our senators. You know, I don't know, honestly. I mean, obviously, I think healthcare, you know, like Medicare, Medicaid, that kind of stuff, there's waste in there, but how you get to it, I don't know.
I think that the cuts ought to occur in some of the benefits that large corporations get. I think that there were a lot of areas that a lot of the senators and House members protect for their constituents that could have been targeted that weren't targeted.
Despite this bill, we're still spending so much more money than we're bringing in revenues. In order to fix this, do you think we should be raising taxes and cutting spending? How do you think that should work?
To be honest, I would have to look at the information a little bit more. Since it is so new, I know there's a lot to look over.
I think there should be a combination of the two. I mean, I was particularly, I would say, in support of the idea that even the wealthier citizens of this country ought to pay their share, if you will. You know, they benefited immensely from the country, and from what I understand, the majority of them are not unwilling to pay more for the fact that they're able to make more.
I'm a big fan on decreasing spending as much as possible. If in the process of doing that we need to raise taxes to get us to bridge that, to get us to a place where we decrease government and decrease spending, I'm for that. But I'm certainly not in favor of increasing more and more taxes, because it just over time we end up, you know, raising our spending up to that level as opposed to cutting it.
Do you think there's a more intense ideological divide among members these days, and why do you think this whole issue has been met with so much debate?
I think it's a lot with everybody kind of trying to appease everybody rather than putting their foot down when they know something needs to be done correctly. It's like everybody's got to try and, you know, please the masses, and you're never going to be able to please everybody.
There are really deep divides in our nation in terms of how we view what we do with our money. I think it was met with debate simply because people want to get their agenda in, and they know if it goes up to the last minute, they have a better chance of holding more leverage and sway in the debate.